Don't you love when you have technical issues that cause you to have to re-record an entire video? I sure do. I had 30 minutes of video already recorded, and since most of my videos are done off the cuff and me just kind of rambling, no script, no nothing, I just like to talk to the camera and let my brain vomit just kind of like drool out of my mouth. Unfortunately, I lost about 30 minutes worth of footage and had to reshoot what you're about to see, so enjoy. I'm sure by now that most of you have at least heard of Helldivers 2, if you haven't already played it, given the massive amount of people who have played it since its release. I wanted to take a couple minutes today to discuss what I feel Helldivers 2 has done to garner such success and make itself stand out in the crowd amongst all the games that we've had in recent months. Hell, I'd go so far as to say that this game stands out against games that have come out in the last few years. I myself am a person who despises playing shooters. I even debated even talking about this game since it's kind of out of the genre scope of the channel, but I'm having such a fantastic time with some of my community members that I think it warranted some time for discussion. Me, personally, I prefer to play single player games, but Helldivers 2 called to me. I don't know if it's just because I had loved Starship Troopers growing up, but something called to me. The community, the memes, the overall like meta narrative that was being made by the player base, I had to get involved. And since then I've been having a fantastic time. And I just kind of want to talk about it and talk about just why a game that normally wouldn't appeal to somebody like myself, wouldn't appeal to a single player gamer. Why would I want to start playing a game with other people? Why would I want to play a shooter of all things that I generally don't enjoy? And how did I find so much joy in this game? I think the real fun, the real enjoyment boils down to the fact that it doesn't matter how good of a gamer you are, you can enjoy Helldivers 2. I'm absolute, what do the kids say, dog water? I'm dog water at shooters, and I'm dog water at Helldivers 2. I'm not good. I'm not good. I'm currently level, I think 15, 16, maybe, and I've been dragged into matches with my friends that I've made through my Twitch community, and we have been playing Helldivers 2. These other guys, these other gals, they're all levels 28, 32, 37, 45. Some of them are probably max level as of me recording this video. Regardless, even though I'm being dragged into some of these more difficult and more challenging fights, I'm having a blast, even though more often than not, I end up becoming the pivot guy in the circle jerk of bugs or bots, ended up having to be called down, reinforced time and time again, but we're laughing and we're having a good time while completing missions. You see, me being a single player game type of guy, I just never liked the thought of my skill level affecting other people's enjoyment of a game or other people's skill levels affecting my enjoyment of the game. It's why back when I was playing EverQuest 2 before it went free to play, I played solo because I didn't want my lack of skill or knowledge of a raid to affect other people's enjoyment. Now, granted, there are some people within the community that seem to be treating this game a little more sweaty, a little try-hardy, if you will, and they came in a few weeks into the game's popularity and have since kind of taken root and started to be what I would consider a loud minority. You know, these players that seem to want to say that there's a certain way to play, and if you're not playing it that way, you're playing it wrong, and you're not good enough to play with us. And it is, of course, this type of elitism that has pushed me and many other gamers away from multiplayer experiences that could have been otherwise enjoyable. And all this aside, even though there is a fantastic community surrounding the game, I feel that one of the best things that Helldivers 2 has going for it is Arrowhead Studios itself and how it is handling the game and the content surrounding it. Unlike other live service games, Helldivers 2 is a game that instead of crafting a narrative for you, the player, to then partake of, the narrative is actually being written and driven by the player base. And I think that is really, really refreshing. It gives something to it adds to that camaraderie of the gameplay, and it gives the players a focus to all drive towards that one singular goal. And I can't really think of any modern game that currently does this. And I feel Helldivers 2 has really hit the mark with the game not only being focused on a cooperative aspect, but also in the way that they treat the game. A lot of people within the community have complained they want PvP, they want this, they want that. Arrowhead Studios has a vision. They are aiming that vision in one direction, and they are not stopping. A lot of games will water down the experience to appeal to the masses. They want to make the most money possible, so they water it down to appeal to a wider audience. Arrowhead Studios is not doing that. They refuse to do it. They've said it openly. And I will always stand by this phrase that not everything needs to be made for everybody. Sometimes a game could just be not for you. And a lot of the what I would consider loud minority have overall misunderstood the idea of Helldivers and what Arrowhead Studios has planned for this game. So I'm going to say something that maybe some of you might find divisive, you might be upset about it. If you're begging for Arrowhead Studios to change their vision of this game, you're sorely mistaken, and this game isn't for you. And that in of itself is why I think Helldivers 2 is just such a unique experience, and why I think that this game has many, many years ahead of it if the developers can keep pace with content and continuously bring new and exciting things to the players. They don't have to change their formula. They knew who the target audience was. The target audience found the game, fell in love with it. And that target audience, because they are so hard focused on pleasing that specific crowd, is why this game has legs. I see Helldivers 2 as probably being one of those games that has a very beloved fan base that will stick with it no matter where it goes, as long as it keeps going in the same direction and maintains its same vision. And when a game knows what it is, it also knows what it isn't. And as long as it holds on to the identity that it wants, I think this game can last quite a while. Now, is it going to maintain the hundreds of thousands of players all day, every day? Maybe not. There's always going to be something new that's going to take people's attentions away. But I think there will be a long-term success for Helldivers 2 and the developers moving forward. That's all I really have to say about Helldivers 2 today. I'd really like to hear what you guys think in the comments, and let me know what it is that keeps you coming back to Helldivers 2 for more, even if maybe you suck as much as I do. And thank you so much for watching the video, everybody. Really appreciate it if you like and subscribe to the channel. That would really help me out a lot. Maybe even swing by the Twitch channel and come say hi and talk to me live. I'd really, really love to hear from you. You'll probably find me playing some single-player role-playing game, or possibly some Helldivers with some friends. And until next time, stay weird, stay awesome, and I'll see you all in the next video.